to T-Boys TV, and
Sports.
there we go. Bang. That's probably the best one we've done so far. But yeah, obviously, we're back again. Championship show, reacting to the games. Obviously, a little bit of transfer news as well. Let's come on in and around our teams and stuff like that. But obviously, we've got Harry as well. You know what I mean? I don't know why he's decided to put that top to the front, but at least he's wearing a Luton shirt. You know, I like that. I like that. But how are we, guys? Both all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Good mate, yeah. Kaminsky, come on.
Well, I'm
Oh dear. Well, we obviously will be getting into that, but yeah, we'll start off. We'll start off with your game, Lewis. So obviously you
coming
took on.
off. Coming
Yeah,
off.
no, we'll start off with yours. You know, I've spoken about mine quite a lot, so we'll get into yours first. You know, you went away. You went all the way to Plymouth. You know what I mean? Fair play to you. You know, full way in. You know, at least you woke up, unlike others. Anyway, that's not the point. But yeah, you know, you got a draw. I mean, what did you make of the game? I mean, when you went 1-0 down, you was probably getting a bit worried. I can imagine.
Worried. I was thinking, we deserve to be 1-0 down. We deserve to be 1-0 down because it's just one of them where whatever we did, it just got absolutely sniffed out the park. I mean, this passing around the back shit, just get in the bin. Just get in the bin. And Walter needs to change his frigging his style of football because Jesus Lord, it's just not clicking at all. I mean, Sean McLaughlin never put a Hull City shirt on again because Jesus Christ, you're a stinker. My Lord. Now, I was rating you last season and useless, man, useless. But I didn't want to take the point, but I think I have to take the point. It's just like, in reality, we probably deserve to lose the game, if I'm being completely honest. It weren't great at all, by either side, really. And Plymouth weren't even that good. We just made them look like Prime Barcelona. If being honest, like Rooney was going berserk, but do I care? No. Can you get him a bin? Absolutely. Is he just a fat granny? You know what? Yes. So yeah, but what was quite funny actually, they got given offside, and let's just say we took the offside in our attacking half, and the ref allowed it because the ref didn't place the ball. That's not happened. Don't ask me how that works. Am I complaining though? No. Did everything come from it? Unfortunately not, because that would be quite funny. But no, it wasn't great. We should have scored more. Liam Miller had a few decent shots. Louis Core's goal, I must say, it's probably up there. I don't want to say goal of the season contender, but so far it has to be. I mean, you've seen it, Tyler. I don't know if you have, Harry, but
yeah,
for a defender, it's actually a pretty damn good goal. And he was easily by far our best player. Easily, it wasn't even a contest really. It was that poor, really. That our defender had to be one of probably the man of the match for me. The attacking outlook, we desperately need a striker. And fast, otherwise we're not scoring many goals a season, and that's just the facts. But I guess we'll take the point. Didn't really want to start the week, but I guess that's football for you.
Enjoy your fish and chips as well, Lewis?
Didn't have it.
Oh dear. No, like you say though, the Coyle goal, yeah, that was sick. And I think for me, it's obviously the finish is obviously the standout, but I think the run he made before, you know, as well was really good. You know, especially for a defensive player. And to
Yeah, I think really what made it was the fact. I think what it seemed like to me was the sort of attacking run Drew's trying to make. Like, I think all the midfielders got dragged away from where they should have been, and it was just so easy for them to run through. It should have been that easy, but I'm not complaining. Like the 1-2 between him and Miller as well, that was quite nice to see. I mean, I didn't expect Miller to pass it, not because he's greedy or anything. I thought maybe he'll just dive into the box and just put a header in, but no, like first shot, it looked like a Rabona, but I don't think it was a Rabona in the end. But no, for a defender, it's a pretty damn good goal. And when he's shot, I kind of like he's missed, but. And what I like to see as well, the fact like he didn't celebrate, he kind of went, just someone go get the ball and we'll just go for another one because we were in it, we just weren't clinical, and you got to be in this league, especially teams like that.
Yeah, no, exactly that. But yeah, Harry, we both said a 1-1 draw, didn't we? Going into it, we had that feeling, that Plymouth had definitely bounced back, in the league anyway after that, shocking game week 1 game. But yeah, we sort of knew what was coming, didn't we?
Yeah, pretty much, mate. I mean, on the day, I actually thought Plymouth might win, and it nearly did happen. And there was limit mine when Plymouth scored. Lewis probably fuck. But
yeah, just a bit.
But nah, it was one of them, weren't it? Where two pretty poor defences, probably. It was on the day. It was always going to be like a goal for both teams. So there's not much really to say about it, really, other than obviously, I think in the Carabao Cup, obviously, Rooney side won 3-0, so they would have had a bit of confidence from that. And obviously, Hall got knocked out by Sheffield Wednesday, which could, it's Carabao Cup, but it's momentum at the end of the day, and maybe that's why Rooney's team played so called better than they did away at Sheffield Wednesday when they got spanked 4-0. So, yeah, there's not much to say, like I say, other than a point. Who would be happier with two teams? I don't think either team would be too happy about it, really.
No, them, absolutely them.
I mean, you say them, but I don't think, like Rooney, man, like, we can all say his management is, like, quite not the best, but he won't be happy with a draw. I think would have wanted to win that game.
Yeah. No, to be fair, I do agree, because you look at a lot of the Plymouth games that I owned last year, and they wanted, in the end, it was sort of a fortress, and that's the thing. When you're in the relegation battle, you've got to try and make your home games very vital and obviously, win them. Look a couple of seasons ago when obviously Nottingham Forest done that in the Premier League. Sometimes you got to do that. So I hear it, and especially with what you said, they did have a few chances at the end to maybe, get the win. Whittaker was very close right at the end of the game. But overall, yeah, I'd probably say, the draw was probably fair. It was quite even. Like I said, they're always going to concede, both teams, especially when you look at their, defensive structures in obviously the first games, not the best. And then, like you say as well, as much as it was, the League Two opposition that they played in the Carabao Cup, they gave them a chance to rotate and see what is right, i.e. Hardy starting up front and stuff like that, and, changing it up a little bit. And, it was obviously a much better performance than obviously that first game for them. So, yeah, that's that. Moving on, move on to the Luton game. So, again, going into it, I think we all said a draw, in fact, didn't we? It was just different, scorelines. I mean, me and Harry both said 2-2. Lewis, I think you said 1-1, didn't you? If I remember correctly. The Portsmouth Luton game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said, yeah. So we all knew it's going to be a draw. I mean, with how the actual game went, I'd have took a draw. Definitely with obviously the red card, playing with the 10 men for so long, and Morris having to come off, and we know Elijah's much better, and same with for Morris, vice versa, when they're both on the pitch at the same time. But yeah, the first yellow card Kaminsky got was stupid. Like Rob Edwards said, we're not going to time waste in the 29th minute. No disrespect to Portsmouth, like I said, I think they'll stay up, but we're not going to do it against a newly promoted team when we've just come down. It wouldn't make any sense. And that's not how we are. And either way, if anyone should have got booked, it should have been Mengi, if we're going to be honest, because he was the one who actually was passing it to Kaminsky for the short goal kicks and stuff like that. But yeah, the second one, there's no complaints. He's thinking it's UFC full, do you know what I mean, on the consoles and stuff like that. But again, me personally, I'm not going to be too critical of him, because as much as, yeah, it's clumsy, it's stupid, he shouldn't do that. Look how many times he saved us, especially last season, for example. And even before that, he made a few decent saves, to be fair to him. Shea come in, I don't really have my worries about Shea. The only time, like I said, where he's had a poor game, it was the Stevenage game in the League Cup a few years ago. But ever since, he's always stepped up. Like I said, that Nottingham Forest game when Sluga had COVID, he come in and done really well. And then from there on in, he played a lot of games, obviously. And then, he's been part of that rise and he always steps up. Thought in the game he was really, really good. Coming out, claiming the ball, made a few good saves, saved it at one moment, hit Pelly Ruddock in the face. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was putting his body on the line, literally, Shea in that game. And really good performance. His last, 2 games, he's got a clean sheet. Granted, obviously, he only played 20 minutes against Fulham, but he's still got a clean sheet. He's especially with him in goal now, when you look at games, obviously, we'll get more into it later on in the week, but when you look at games like Preston, we're not going to, pass around the back and we're not going to take them short goal kicks because, like my dad said yesterday, Shea's he's not really that sort of guy. He'll play it long. And he did try and do that a lot when he was on, which obviously I like to see. And yeah, really, really good defensive performance. First clean sheet for us since obviously being in the, when we was in the Premier League. So felt good to get a clean sheet again. And if we're being honest, it wasn't a boring 0-0. Sometimes obviously 0-0s, you look at them and go, oh, they're pretty boring, but it's actually quite good. First 20 minutes probably should have scored, but like I said, overall I'll take it. I'd have took a draw going into the game, because I knew their crowd would be right up for it, their result against Leeds and everything like that. So, Mengi was unreal, absolutely unreal. He's defending in this game, the way, jumped across and got the ball when they were through on goal. Unbelievable. Amari Bell, got loads of minutes in the tank, which was good. Like you said, Harry, you called him to start and he did. And he was really good. I like Bell, but you just have your worries sometimes, not with him necessarily, just players in general. When they come back from being out for so long, you have your worries of, them being a little bit rusty. And that's why I didn't start him myself. I know we got the Carabao Cup game coming up against QPR. That's where I play players that are coming back and, second string players essentially. But overall, I thought defensively we were really, really good. Attacking wise, it was always going to be a bit of a struggle with Morris coming off, but we still had the odd chances. But I'd say overall, I'll take that. It's the first point of the season for us, and hopefully we can build on that. We're coming up against a Preston side who, were shocking on the weekend, and still haven't got a manager as it stands. So could be a good opportunity, really. I mean, we do struggle away there, but could be a good opportunity. And then, yeah, it could be a confidence booster, which I think we've needed. Hopefully, a few new signings come in as well. It looks like McGuinness will be. So, record signing will be overtaking Giles for most expensive signing for us. So, it's looking all right. I'm a lot more confident than I was last week, for example. So, yeah, man, that's my thoughts on it. But yeah, what did you make of what you saw of the game, Harry?
I mean, I didn't watch the game. I watched the whole of your live stream, and from everything you said, because obviously you're watching it, positive considering the red card. To be that long down for 10 men for and to come away from, to be honest, probably one of the hardest away grounds this season in the league. Even for big teams, I think Portsmouth will beat a few of the big teams this season. Good point. And like you say, good defensive work. Shame about Kaminsky, that one of them where he's going to learn from and come back stronger. And fair play to him for coming out and saying sorry, basically, because you don't get many players like that. So I think both teams might be happy with it in a way. In the end, I think maybe Rob Edwards might have wanted to win, but soon going down to 10 men that early, he probably thought, you know what, we can come away from here with a point, go to Preston, and then kick on from there. So I think overall, both teams would be fairly happy with the outcome.
Yeah, no, I did watch a few of their post-match stuff from their manager and one of their players, and they were saying they're very happy. If you said to them at the start, you're going to get 2 points in your opening 2 games against Leeds and Luton, I think they'd have took that in a heartbeat, to be quite honest with you. So massive shout out to them, and I totally agree with what you said. Especially when they play at home, they will beat a few teams. The teams that you probably expect to go there and win on paper, but they will beat them, I reckon. They can give it a right go. You can see as well players like Richie, for example, he come on. You can see that he's a bit rusty. He had a few chances, but not great for his standard. But as the week goes on, or the weeks, shall I say, he will be much better and much more key for them, and he will become a regular starter, I do believe. But anything you'd like to add on it, Lewis?
Well, obviously, I watched probably. Well, I saw the red card, and then that part about it. I was watching mainly. Well, I say mainly. I wasn't watching any game. I was kind of just swapping between the Ipswich game and obviously your game. I didn't actually bother to watch any game. But no, I think you kind of got to take it under the circumstances. Kaminsky, well, yeah, no words really. I think even if he weren't on that yellow card, I think what he did, I think that probably warrants a red card straight away, regardless whether he's on the yellow card or not. I mean, the ref didn't even brand this 2-second yellow card from what I saw. I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he's on a straight red card. So I don't know whether that is actually going to be a 3 game or 1 game, but we'll soon find out, I guess. He's not on my EFL fantasy this weekend, regardless.
Yeah, or not. Yeah, he was on mine as well.
Typical, but no, I think under the circumstances, you've got to take him. And like you said, offer 2 points to Portsmouth from Leeds and Luton. They'll probably snatch their hand off, wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
But from what it sounded like in terms of the stats and that, it seemed like quite an even game after that. But I don't think either team can be overly annoyed in terms of the circumstances. I mean, I think Portsmouth might be a little bit annoyed the fact they were there about 70 minutes when they were down to 10. Well, when Luton were down to 10, but if you offered them a point, I'm pretty sure they would have took it before the game.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I remember I went live on TikTok and I was a lot of Portsmouth fans joining and that, and I was, a lot of them were surprised with me saying it'd be a draw. They were like, nah, we obviously will win, as in Luton, obviously 2-1 and stuff. A lot of them were saying so. They definitely would have. And at the end of the day, a lot of them were referring to their players and the manager in the post match. Their team that's just come down, and we've got a point. So yeah, they'd have, like I said, bit your hand off really for that. But let's go through some comments. A lot of comments flying in. Big up to everyone. Big up to Paul. Says, good evening, T-Boys. Big up to yourself, mate. Shout out to Brad in the chat. He says, let's go. Big up to Kian in the chat as well. Like in Harry's comment earlier about the fish and chips.
Big up to you know what I said to you, Harry, about earlier on Messenger?
Yeah.
Yeah, you stuck there for the rest of the night. For sure.
Did you have an ice cream? Luke, did you have an ice cream as well after the game?
Right. You're there for the next 2 days now.
Lewis was fuming. He was like, "Nah, we got to win. We didn't win, so I didn't want no ice cream. I didn't want no celebration. I just wanted to get out of Plymouth."
Tyler, you can say what you want. Tyler, you and Brad can say what you want on call tonight. You're not overtaking Harry. unless you say something mad, then there's a possibility. But regardless,
Lewis was like, "Oh, I'm not going to the beach anymore. I'm going home."
And he goes, we got there at 2 o'clock.
Hanno, tough place to go, eh?
Physically and mentally, yes, it is. It's very tiring.
Well, Lewis, mate, cheers for that, because that looks like that might be my next away day, Plymouth, and you're saying it's like that, so that's just going to be great, isn't it?
Well, it's tiring, mate. It's not so bad for you. It's only probably about 3 hours down the road from you.
About 4 hours, yeah.
Yeah, imagine doing 18 hours.
Yeah, well, the joys. Shout out to Darth Vader in the chat. He says, fellas, big up to yourself, mate. Good to see you in here. But yeah, moving on, we'll go over to the next game. Do you know what game we'll go to next? We'll go over to the Friday night game. Obviously, the Premier League did kick off, so a lot of people are predominantly watching that Man United game. But, now Luton are back in the Championship. Coventry have got high expectations for them. Oxford, just come up. Wanted to watch that game, see how it went. Really, really end-to-end game, actually. It was obviously 3-2 in the end. Getting a winner. And it's a hard one to take for Oxford because, don't get me wrong, there was spells where Coventry were putting loads of pressure on them, and you were thinking, it's probably just a matter of time. But they've done really well to dig deep in there and, give it a right go, and again, Oxford, another team who have signed, good players, to try and stay in the division. And I mean, they still could do. I just think as much as it still is early on in the season, they're probably expected a loss. I think maybe they might look back at this because I had the same sort of feelings with Luton last season, when we conceded late on goal or, we'd go down and end up losing in the game we've been so, close to getting a result out of. They might look back at it at the end of the season. And again, like I said, I know it's very early, but sometimes you just do look at them games and think that. Even people were saying that with, our first game against Burnley because of the high expectations. Yeah, that's all right. Because of the high expectations of both of us. A lot of people were saying that. So, I don't know, man. I mean, bit of a heartbreaking one, wasn't it, for Oxford, Harry?
Very, mate. I mean, to be honest, great result against Norwich a week ago. Well, last weekend. So we're going to take momentum into that game, to be honest. But yeah, it was a bit gutting, really. They could have grinded out a draw, but I think Coventry's brilliance in the end shone through in quality of players. So, but I still believe Oxford are going to stay up. I don't really want to do this comparison because I don't think it's really fair. But it's like when Luton went to the Premier League, it's like they had that fight and desire and stuff, and it kind of reminds me of Oxford a little bit. So far, anyway. So you never know. Like they could, stay up. I still think they might, and I think they will. So yeah, I mean, Coventry though, conceding 2 against Oxford, they won't be too impressed by that. Really, it's not great considering like what they've done over the last couple of seasons. So yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the game, but from things I read and saw, and I watched a bit of the highlights, like it looked an end-to-end game, like so.
Yeah, no, it was. And, I thought the Oxford keeper played really well as well. Made some really, really good saves, to be honest. And it weren't for him. It maybe when Coventry had a bit of a spell towards the end of the first half, it could have been a bit more. But, they give it a right go. And, they were very unlucky in that game. But actually, right, Lewis, he could be up there, couldn't he, for the top scorers? I know you rate him quite highly.
Yeah, quality value. A whole links for him with what? Just before he signed Coventry, I think, maybe season before. And everyone was buzzing when we was linked to him. Obviously, nothing happened. Shock horror, slow business as per. But no, Oxford took the game from him. And I mean, if they do that with some more teams, then maybe me and Tyler might have egg on our faces when they stay up. But no, I mean, these first 2 games from Oxford, they've seemed really positive. Obviously, the win against Norwich and obviously the point against Coventry. I think, again, another team that if you offered that to start the season, they would absolutely snap your hand off it. Obviously, it's a young keeper. I think it's a pretty young squad. And, it's working so far. Let's not get ahead of ourselves right now, so far it seems very positive from there. Obviously, I think it'd be absolutely good if you're not an Oxford fan of the game. But no, I think they can be in the mix at times, but I just think it's like you just said. You look at games like this back in the season, regardless of whether you're a relegated side in the mix of relegation or just miss out on playoffs. You will look at some games, and it could be one that they could look at from a perspective of if they are to go down. Yeah, we could have stayed up, but we'll have to wait and see. But I think if they show performances like that, they can 100% do it. And I think they can shock a few teams. I mean, they've obviously already shocked Norwich last week and almost put a surprise result against Oxford, Coventry. But no, really an excellent game. If you're watching as a neutral, I was watching the United game. But I wish I watched that game, to be honest. And I mean, from what I've seen via Sky Sports, some unreal saves from Jen Cumming. But yeah, I think I'd be happy if I was an Oxford fan. They could definitely surprise a few teams, like I say.
I think out of all, like as well, just to add a bit on top, out of all the promoted teams from League One so far, I think the most. I know Portsmouth have had 2 really tough games, but they've made some like good signings, like Premier League player like Richie and that. But for Oxford to do what they've done so far, for me, I think they've been the best team out of the 3 in terms of like the resources they have, like compared to the other 2 that have come up. I think they've been very impressive so far, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree, especially when you look at all of them. They were probably, I know a lot of people have put Derby rock bottom, but they're probably the most underestimated potentially because, they haven't been in the Championship for so long. You didn't really know what to expect. Whereas, do look at Derby, they have gone up and down, recently, but at the same time, they have been in the Championship more recently. So, you'd back them to probably do a bit better. But yeah, I have to agree. They've done really, really well so far, and like I say, very unfortunate against Coventry. But yeah, moving on to the next games. Obviously, there was 2 other 12:30 games on the Saturday. This one we'll just brush aside because it was 0-0. But that was obviously West Brom Leeds. I'd probably say a better point for Leeds because I know Leeds do struggle. The Hawthorns in recent years, and especially if Leeds' form, West Brom obviously got that, good win in the opening game week. So, I'd say it's probably a better point for them. Would you agree with that, guys?
There's
Okay. Yeah, you'd probably have to say so, especially with the players they've lost, and they obviously haven't exactly replaced them as of yet. I know there's been news coming out today regarding a potential Somerville replacement, and if that does happen, then Jack Clark is going to be a very good signing for Leeds, I think. But no, I think Leeds probably have to be the happier camp. But it's not been a great start for them. I mean, if you offer them 2 points before the start of the season, I think they'd tell you to jog on. But no, I think Leeds, they'll for sure get better. Obviously, didn't watch this game, but by what it sounded to me, like West Brom had some chances, but Mesley obviously had a better game last weekend. But no, I think if you offered a point to, I'd maybe say even West Brom, I think they would have took it. Looking at the 2 squads and looking at the expectations, obviously think that's going behind closed doors at obviously West Brom. So it's one of them where the Hawthorns ain't an easy place to go to, but if you look at the current circumstances of both clubs, probably potentially expected.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's one of them. But yeah, would you say the point was better for Leeds, Harry?
it's a tough one because if you said last season, I think West Brom would have took the point. We're more happy with it. I mean, I think 4 points from 2 for West Brom isn't too bad going. I personally think Leeds would be more disappointed in the sense that they drew at home to Portsmouth in the first game. In that regard, but at the same time, again, Hawthorns, like you said, Tyler, they have a bit of a bad record there. So I think both teams won't be really happy with the point personally. Yeah, there's not, like you said, there's not much to say on the game really. 0-0, typical 0-0 game in the Championship. So yeah, I think both teams will be pretty unhappy with it.
Yeah, no, it reminds me of the first playoff games last season. They're both 0-0, weren't they? So yeah, but moving on to the last game, that was 12:30, was obviously Derby at Middlesbrough. Derby actually getting a win, 1-0 win, which again, like I say, you look at these teams that have just come up. Their home form is what's going to be key if they are to stay up. And I mean, Middlesbrough had a lot of chances in this game. On a other day, it'd have been a lot more clinical and managed to put the ball in the back of the net. But I did think defensively they were quite vulnerable in this game. If any of you guys saw the goal, even in the chat as well, it's a poor pass back to the keeper, and they've just capitalised on it and scored. But few shaky moments for Derby, but overall they'd definitely take that. Against Middlesbrough, who I thought would win. I said 2-1. I did say a close game, but I just thought the form Middlesbrough were on. Winning their opening 2 games, obviously the game in the league, and then obviously winning quite convincingly against a decent Leeds squad or side in the Carabao Cup. Thought they'd do it, but yeah, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best defensive displays from either side, but Derby will definitely take that. And again, they could look back at that again as much as it's very early. It could be quite key beating a good Middlesbrough side. But yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. But I think you actually said 1-0, didn't you, Harry? If I remember rightly,
yeah.
Derby.
Yeah.
Called it. But what did you make of what you see on the game?
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I don't know. I just had a feeling that Derby, it'd be one of them where Derby would just sneak like a 1-0 or something at home. Like we said in the last show, that if they are going to stay up, they're going to have to win games at home and make their home form count massively, and that's what they've done. Middlesbrough as well. They seem to have this thing where they go away from home and they're not good in some games, and they lose to some of the like so-called more littler teams, like by a goal. And yeah, that's what happens. And fair play to Derby, and like you said, Tyler, could be crucial come the end of the season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But key win, wasn't it, Lewis, for Derby? Do you reckon Middlesbrough can bounce back from this?
Oh yeah, for sure. You look at the team. I've been Plymouth. I still think they'll be in and around it, but I think it's just a typical situation of if you want to say the words snatch and grab. Looking at the stats, I think it was something like Middlesbrough 20 shots to Derby's 4, and I've seen the goal. It's just absolutely horrendous from Middlesbrough. Absolutely easy pickings per se for Derby. Derby. I think Middlesbrough fans will not be happy whatsoever. But I mean, Derby fans, if they can properly get that place going, like they probably did the weekend at Pride Park, that's another tough place to go to. And obviously they've shown that they can get results. And I mean, yeah, it was the typical snatch and grab, but if you can do that maybe time and time in while not conceding many, then who knows, I guess. But I think for Murray, it'll just be a situation where probably a good job it's early in the season. But obviously, Pride Park's not an easy space to go to. Neither is the Riverside for when Derby have to go there. But I think if Derby have to stay up, yeah, I think they'll most definitely because of their home form.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Definitely, like I say, it's not an easy place to go. I remember we went there a few years ago, drew 2-2 quite early on in the season. So we will see what goes on. But yeah, moving on to the 3:00 games. This was a really, really good game. Bristol City winning 4-3 against Millwall. Millwall actually coming back in the game. But then, Middlesbrough turned it around again. It was crazy end-to-end game. I said a narrow win for Bristol City. I said a 2-1 victory. But again, they're a team that I've put as my dark horses, to sneak their way into the playoffs. Just think, again, another team at home that I think might actually do it. They're on the rise season upon season recently. And they've got them players, especially attacking wise, that I feel really good. Viner at the back. I know Luton were linked with him last season. He's a good player as well. And I just think they'll be in it. But Millwall, it'd be a bit annoying for them. The way they obviously took the lead and then obviously come back, shall I say, and then went behind again. But crazy game, absolutely crazy game, and yeah, I mean they might potentially get in the playoffs, like I think. But yeah, what game, wasn't it, Harry?
Great game. I weren't expecting that high of a score of a game, to be fair, but two teams that can clearly score goals. But for me, Millwall, considering the amount of goals we have in the first two games, is quite worrying. And again, I think they'll be down there again this season, fighting relegation, as I've predicted in the predicted table. But yeah, good win for Bristol, as you say. Dark horses for me. I agree with that as well. Yeah, I mean, again, I haven't seen highlights, but it's a great result for them. And Bristol's a tough place to go. And fair play to Millwall, did score like a good amount of goals, but they need to make the defence better, personally.
Yeah, no, they do. And I was just thinking to myself, right, Tanganga, I'm not too sure. Is he injured or something? Because he hasn't been in their lineup, which I'm very surprised about, considering, new signing. Obviously, he was on loan last season, and I think they definitely need him there right now, the way they're leaking goals, like you say. But yeah, it's weird what's going on really there. But Lewis, do you think Bristol City could be them dark horses?
Oh, for sure. They've shown it against Hull and they showed it at their place against Millwall that they're not exactly here to mess around. But I think didn't they go 2-0 up and then go 3-2 down?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, to me. That's not good enough. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's things like they've been having it in the championship, but as a whole, I'm gonna search about this. I know Tanganga's not playing.
Go on.
He'll be back next game, I think.
Yeah, they need him back.
He's
ASAP.
he's serving suspension. He got a straight red card last game of the season.
Oh, yeah, of course he did. Yeah. I remember that now, yeah.
That's why he's not been playing.
That makes sense now, yeah.
Best defender they've got by an absolute mile.
100%.
Yeah, and guess what? He's back against Hull. Yippity doo dah, yippity day.
Have fun, Lewis.
Shoot, please, somebody. But no, to go back to this game, obviously, again, one of them, obviously, yeah, it might be on, no, it probably will be on Sky Sports Plus, but if it was, again, another good game from a neutral perspective. But no, I mean, Scott's Ryan getting the winner, typical, leaves all goes to them, goes back to Burnley, joins them permanently, and scores a win on debut.
Twiney.
No, not Tiny. But no, I think again another really good game. I think right. We'll be having that conversation after the stream, Brad. We'll be having this conversation after the stream. I'm pretty sure what I'm going to say. But no, again, like I say, a really good game in terms of neutral perspective. And I mean, if Bristol go the way they are, I don't swear they can't get playoffs at all. And I mean, considering 3 at home, probably not ideal. But if you score 4 each game, then they could surprise a few teams again. But yeah, I mean, I'm impressed with how they've started. I mean, if Mill can lead goals like that on Saturday, that made my life so much easier. That'd be nice. But no, decent game, and yeah, I guess really. I haven't seen the goals back yet, so I don't have to keep a blunders or what. But yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, we'll move on to the next game, which was Swansea winning 3-0 against Preston. I mean, as much as Preston didn't have a manager, me and you, Lewis, thought they'd sneak a 1-0 win just with that form they had in the Carabao Cup, beating Sunderland. But no, it wasn't to be. That's probably what's going to happen if you don't have a manager. Surprised didn't get one in for this game. If I'm going to be honest, no, my luck, they'll get one in for the weekend. New manager bounce. You know what I mean?
They
But
need to. They need to.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm surprised they didn't for this game. But yeah, heavy
It's not even the
defeat.
fact of that. It's obviously something that's happened after the game, but obviously we'll get back to that in a minute.
Especially with the fact, like we touched on it, Lewis. Especially the fact, the time he got sacked. Usually 9 times out of 10, team, will have a replacement in place. Yeah, especially if you're going to do it in that part of the season, which is obviously rare the first time. But even when you see managers go halfway through the season, there's always a plan in place, but they still haven't done anything at this moment in time, which is quite interesting. But yeah, I guess Swansea just capitalised on it, and got the win. Really simple as that, wasn't it? Really, Harry.
Good win for Swansea. I mean, were they away at Preston?
Yeah,
No.
They were at home. Wow, yeah. The whole manager thing for Preston, it's either going to go one or two ways: either very good or very shit, and it's gone very shit. And they just need to get someone in ASAP. Otherwise, we talk about people being rock bottom. They could be rock bottom come the end of the season. The way it's going,
I think they are now, aren't they?
Probably. But yeah, good win for Swansea. They could build momentum from this game. But Preston, playing against Luton next, and you don't want to be playing against someone like Luton when you're on a bad run of form. When Luton have got good goal scorers in Morris and Adebayo, and I can just see nothing to Luton win the weekend. But we'll come on to that a bit later. But yeah, man, not looking good for Preston, but good win for Swansea.
Yeah, as it stands, they are second bottom. Obviously, Cardiff have a worse goal difference. So yeah, obviously, might as well just move on really to that game, which was obviously Burnley emphatic win. We all sort of expected that, if we're going to be honest. Obviously, it was a 5-0 in the end. Obviously, no McGuinness in the lineup. So obviously, we're the only team that rumoured with him. It looks like he's set to have a medical, so it should be announced in the next few days. But yeah, Burnley just. I mean, there was a bit of spells where a few Burnley fans I know were telling me, before they got the second, Cardiff actually had a bit of a go at them and had a few decent chances, but just not clinical enough. And when you do that, when you go away to Burnley, you get punished for it. And that's what happened. The first goal, the Ethan own goal, jeez, that was shocking, really.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. I watched all the highlights, and they were just very, very dominant, really, after that second goal. And I think Cardiff heads dropped, really, and you just knew what was going to happen at that point. And like I said, going into it, there was a team that one of the Welsh teams, I'm sure it was when they were last in the Championship, that they beat quite heavily. It was like a 4-1, so I sort of expected the same thing again, really. With a dominant Burnley, especially with their game against us, going to Kenilworth Road and getting 4 goals. You know what I mean? Like, so credit to them. They look like they're on it. The only team that's proper on it. So credit to them, really. I mean, dominant display, and it looks like it could be another dominant season from them, probably, doesn't it, Harry?
Yeah, mate, I can't at this current stage. I can't see anyone winning the league other than Burnley. I really can't. I mean, on the last Championship show, I said if they can, the score obviously 4-1 against you, and that they could beat Cardiff about 5-0. I mean, I did say 4-0 Burnley win, but I weren't surprised at all, to be honest. I mean, all the players they've got, that realistically they should be winning the league, or at least top 2 at the very minimum. So yeah, good win. Cardiff need to bounce back. and McGuinness leaving is not good for them.
Mm.
They need to get a replacement in for him, as long as obviously he does go to Luton. So yeah, emphatic win for Burnley, and potentially worrying signs for Cardiff, especially when they lost to Sunderland first game of the season as well. Don't get me wrong, 2 tough teams to play, but need to be a bit better.
Mm. I'd say the worrying sign for them is the fact that they're not even scoring. You obviously haven't scored yet in the league, and yes, it is a bit, a bit worrying. Especially they do have good players. They do. They've got, you've got Aaron Ramsey. He's a very good creative player. They have got them players. But yeah, it's looking a bit worrying quite early on for Cardiff, isn't it, Lewis?
Well, when I said I thought it was going to be a bit of a team that could surprise,
Mm.
In terms of a league, it's not ideal, is it? But no, Turf Moor. I mean, you saw it down in the Premier League where they were okay there. Obviously, when you guys went, obviously, kicked off or whatever. But yeah, it weren't too bad again, I guess. But no, it was, I think I said 3-0, 3-1, something like that. I thought Cardiff would give a decent go, but obviously the tournament just shone through, and I mean it did, but a lot more than what I thought. And I guess this is probably what you expect from this is no dig at Luton or anything like that, but what you maybe expect from like a team who haven't lost many players, and they're just going to have in the Premier League, and they have made signings. The quality's just shone through, and I mean, I'll be surprised if they don't win the league. I really will be.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, but obviously losing McGuinness isn't, if whether he was injured or whatever, I don't know. But if he's obviously come to you guys, unless they've got a replacement ready, because there's not too much left of this window, really. If you think about it, how good days are going now. There's not too really long left, so it's not looking good. It's not looking good, to say the least. But obviously, when you get yourself more, I don't think my team will win every season. If any, if I'm being honest. And I've just looked at the result last time they played at Turf Moor. It was 3-0 Burnley. Maybe that was one he was talking about.
Mm. Yeah, I know they beat one of them convincingly.
But no, it is a little worrying. But what I don't exactly understand is when I see match reactions from Carol Dragon, and he turns around and says, "Oh, Burnley weren't great, but they put 5 past us." Okay. That shows you're useless then. If they weren't great and they proceeded to put 5 against you, you're shit.
Lewis calling out Cab the Dragon Cat.
Right. I'll clip that up, guys.
Stand by, that's why I came my For You page.
Clip that up, guys. But anyway, yeah, no, it's like, do you know what that reminds me of, actually? When we played Watford and we beat them 2-0, and a lot of people were like, that was an average Luton performance. Well, if that's average, I must say that they're absolutely dog shit. So, it reminds me of that. But yeah, no, I'll say they had a bit of a spell, but then as soon as they got that third, Burnley, they were just rampant, and they were just, Cardiff heads dropped, and they were just gone. So yeah, it was one of them. But yeah, moving on to the next game. Oh, them guys down the road, talk about them. They won 3-0 against Stoke. I had a feeling they'd win. I did have a feeling they'd win. I said 2-1. I thought it'd be a bit of a closer game, but shocking, man. Like, how are they scoring all these goals? Like, what's going on with these keepers they're coming up against? You know what I mean? Shocking. Beat MK Dons. I know it's MK Dons, but still, even the goals they scored in that. Letting a Luton reject get a hat-trick. Come on, man. In Tom Ince, it's an absolute joke. This game, the keeper was shocking. Absolutely shocking. Maybe the last goal, you maybe give him the benefit of the doubt, but the other two, shocking. For me, he's got to be doing much better. I remember when we actually went to Rotherham before he obviously moved to Stoke. We beat him 2-0. That was the last time we got a clean sheet, obviously in the Championship, and he was keeping a minute in that first half. I remember I think he saved one off the line. We all thought it was in from Morris, but in this game, absolutely shocking. And like I've said with them, they're beating whoever is in front of them. Fair enough. That's what you got to do. However, I do believe when they play someone good, i.e., not even like a Burnley, obviously them, but when they play even like a Sheffield United, someone like that, I think they get found out that they're not that good, in my personal opinion. So we'll see. But yeah, they won, didn't they, Harry?
Typical Stoke, mate. Have a really good result, then just go to absolute shit. That is typical Stoke. It was the same for them, I think, a fair amount last season as well. Have a good result, then lose quite bad as well. So it didn't surprise me, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, Watford away, not an easy place to go, but to beat Coventry, I think it was the first game of the season, and then to go there and lose the amount they did, and that goalkeeper back on.
And Lewis, mate, clip up. Lewis has just put this banner. Sorry to cut you off, Harry. Right. Well, when did I say that? You were trying to convince me to say that, yeah? I said Kaminsky's clear, yeah? I said Kaminsky's clear.
It was you.
Well, go back and clip it up and send it to me. Tell me where I said that. Oh, he started freezing now. Yeah, he started freezing. Yeah, his Wi-Fi's messing up. Group chat. Go on, then. Get out the receipts, bro.
For reference, people, it was Lewis that said that comment.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Harry. Thank you.
Thank you. Number one, you.
Yeah. Anyway, go back. As you were saying, Harry.
Yeah, man. Just don't get me wrong. Vicarage Road, our place to go, but you can't be losing like that. And their goalkeeper, as I was saying, poor. I watched the highlights as well. Absolutely shocking. But yeah, man, Watford. I know you're not going to like Tyler, but they're on a bit of a momentum. Can they again win this weekend? We'll have to see. But they're doing all right at the minute. And Stoke, they really need to bounce back after that loss, to say the least.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, how long, Lewis, mate? Do you reckon this run continues this weekend, maybe, without giving too much away score prediction wise? Taking on is it Derby? Derby at home. You know what you want to say.
I think they can go on maybe a little longer. I'm not sure what their fixtures are looking like going in further into the season.
To be fair, their next two are actually one of them's EFL Cup. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next to Wayne.
Yeah, I mean,
they
look
struggle.
good. They look good. They look very good at the minute. I know Tyler loves me to say that, but yeah, they look solid. I mean, according to Tyler, we saw a minute ago right here. Johansson's the best keeper in the league on Tyler.
Anyone can write a banner, mate. You know what I mean? Come on now.
I'd have the license.
I need the receipts. You can't say this and then have no receipts, mate.
I'd have the license to do that. So it must be you.
Oh yeah, because you're not part of the team, one of the members. But anyway,
no, definitely not. Anyway, yeah, but no, really good by Watford. I mean, keeper blunders, but I guess they happen. But no, one of them games again that obviously Stoke winning last week, and then obviously it's happening. It's kind of it's kind of looking like what happened, sort of thing. Obviously, I think what was Watford's score first game? 3-2, wasn't
it? Away at Millwall,
yeah. Yeah. I guess it's two average sides. If you turn to look at how a season, will probably figure out.
Tough place to go though, Millwall.
Yeah, no, it's not an easy place to go to, especially to score 3 at their place. It's not easy at all, especially the crowd that they can give, like in terms of the atmosphere there. But obviously back obviously the road this time round, and to do this, I don't think there'll be a dark horse coming in the season, but let's see how long they can keep this up for, because it's looking okay for now, at the least.
Well, I said let's see when they have a test. Right after Derby taking out the EFL Cup, they've got Sheffield United away, so that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Let's see where they're at that moment, and then we can actually judge if there could be a dark horse. For me. So we'll see. But moving on to the next one, the next game, and that is the Sheffield United game. 2-2 draw against QPR. I mean, my prediction, was looking really good. Well, I think another one of you guys said 2-0 as well. It was looking pretty good. It's like, yeah, okay, Heyman's scored, which ain't really a
I think
surprise.
we all said that, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we might have.
It.
Yeah. And then obviously I scored again. We was like, right, okay, it's going to be quite comfortable now by the looks of it. But then QPR, they got a corner, bang, goal. And then you could see they had a bit of belief. They had a few chances before that. And if I'm going to be honest, towards the end of the game, Sheffield United, they were holding on a little bit. Just wouldn't think I'd say, especially at home against, QPR had an awful home result in their opening game. But in the end, they probably deserved to draw. They definitely deserve something, I'd say, with the pressure they were piling on at the end. But, Sheffield United, you're not too worried, I would say. You're still going to be up there. It is, at least you didn't lose. They could have actually lost with the amount of chances QPR had towards, especially in the second half. But, yeah, surprise, wasn't it, Harry?
Not great to be 2-0 up and then drawing 2-2, especially at home. Away, you can maybe understand it. Loftus Road, not the easiest place to go, but to be at Bramall Lane, to be at home, to be 2-0 up in front of your home fans, to bottle it like that, not great. Really, really not great. I mean, I think I predicted 2-1 Sheffield United. I did think QPR may score, but yeah, man, just, I don't know. Crazy how they can. Obviously, they played Preston first game. They were obviously with Preston's difficulties. They won that, but
I know you said 3-0 Sheffield United, mate.
Did I?
Yeah. These are yours.
All right. Okay, I said 3-0 Sheffield United. I thought I said 2-1. But yeah, not great, really. And again, we come back to it. Come the end of the season, we could look at that and think, shit, we messed up there. So, yeah.
It's quite interesting with them, wasn't it? Because last week we were saying when we were reacting to the games, the only teams that look definitely ready, raring to go in this season and ready is them and Burnley. But now it's looking like only Burnley really at this moment in time. It's like Luton seem to be like they're getting to grips again, hopefully with a new few signings. But the only one you can comfortably say now is Burnley. If Sheffield United won that, when they were 2-0 up, you would have said them as well. But yeah, it's not looking, it's not a great result. Like I say, could look back at that potentially. But then again, I think they're a bit fortunate. QPR did have a lot of chances in that second half, and it's probably inevitable with the way the game was going that they were going to at least get a draw. But yeah, disappointing from Sheffield United again. If you're, team that's aiming to go back up, you've got to make your home games vital as well. So and they didn't lose, but again, not great. It's a game they'll be aiming for 3 points. So yeah, bit of a disappointing one from Sheffield United. But credit to QPR, isn't it, Lewis?
Yeah, I'm just watching the highlights now. The first goal's a decent goal. I've just seen the second one now. It's pretty poor defensively. Straight across goal, not much keeper can really do. I think it's like the first QPR goal. Yeah, it's a lap. No, it's not assist, not a corner. But yeah, I think it might be it. Yeah, it's a decent corner. Don't think they could really do much for it. I'm mainly watching the highlights now to see if they show this second year card. So Jack Hobart definitely deserved to
Oh
take
no, they
off.
didn't. They didn't. They just showed him getting sent off, which was a bit annoying.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I'll see it.
Oh, see it in a minute. No, it's a good point for
Yeah.
QPR. I'm watching the game right now, but I can't remember the team. Yeah, it's a very good point for QPR, especially after. I've just seen it. Yeah, is there a replay? No, that's a bit stupid. Cheers, guys, for nothing. But no, it's a very good point for QPR, especially after like I think you both said about last week. Probably a game Sheffield United should have probably won. If the two sides, obviously, I guess maybe there could be a team that maybe away form more than anything could count compared to home form. But last year how season pans out. I mean, I still think I'll be up there for sure. Maybe it's just a bump in the road, but again, it's a championship, I guess, for you. But
yeah,
I wouldn't be too complacent if I was a Sheffield United fan. Yeah, probably 6 out of 6. You probably should have had, but 4 out of 6, I think I'll take it for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely, 100% with that. But yeah, moving on to the next one, which was Norwich versus Blackburn. Now, I was very, very close on my prediction. Very, very close. I said 3-2 Blackburn. Obviously, it come out. Schmodik's obviously left, and he's now gone to Ipswich again. It's probably a matter of time. The amount of times he was rumoured with them during the summer. Very good signing for them. But again, they've seemed to. Obviously, time will tell. It's still very early on, but they've seemed to replace, fairly well. Obviously that Japanese player scoring a vital goal in stoppage time. um, but yeah, 2-2 draw. I mean, Josh Sargent, he's probably going to be up there again for goal scorers. Obviously he got goal and assist in the game. He could have had a few. If I'm going to be totally honest, third time lucky it was. Great finish, roof of the net. He had a chance before that went wide. Another chance that he should have maybe scored, and it's probably a matter of time before Norwich were going to score. But Blackburn still were going at them, and they definitely deserved a draw for me. It's a very good result, and Harry, you'd have been loving this draw. What did you make of it?
Late limbs, Rovers limbs. I mean, But yeah, late Rovers limbs, absolutely fantastic. John Eustace as well, mate. When you got a manager like that who sets his team up well organised and that, you're always going to have a chance. And brilliant. That Japanese magician again, brilliant for Blackburn. Absolutely fantastic. Good goal and a great point for Blackburn. A really good point. I think 4 points from the first 2 games. We're very happy with that. And Norwich, what's going on with them? Could, like I say, could be in the bottom 3 come the end of the season. Come on. Might be brilliant. But
Bold prediction that could happen. Never know. There's always one team that's down there that you don't expect.
Yeah, definitely. But Norwich, I've seen their fixture list and they have got tough games for a long time. They really could be in the shit. And I would not be surprised if they keep going on this run of form if their manager gets sacked in the next month or 2, honestly. But yeah, great draw for Blackburn, which I bet felt like a win in the end. And it's a shame about Smodics because if they had him for this game, might have been the bit of difference to get that 3-2 win, as me and Tyler predicted that would be the score. But 2-2, great result for Blackburn. Norwich will not be happy with that.
No, exactly that. But you still got expectations, Lewis, and do you still believe that Blackburn will stay up as much as Smodics has gone?
Yeah, no, I think they'll stay up. I think they've got this this obviously just Japanese guy. I don't know his name. I think is it Miyoshi, something like that.
Something like it, yeah. Pronunciations are not great, so.
But no, he seems potentially like the new Sammy Smodics. Obviously, it's very hard to compare them at this very early stage. But I saw something earlier saying 3 appearances, 3 goals, and it's not bad going when you really just come from maybe the Japanese league. I'm not sure where it came from. To the championship, probably one of the, if not the hardest league in the world. So it's not bad going, and I mean, if Sammy obviously stayed, then it could have been mid-table going, maybe a little bit higher than that. But obviously because Sammy's gone, I still think they'll be down there. But if they keep going the way they are, then I mean, didn't you say that they'd go down, Tyler?
Yeah, I actually did, yeah.
I don't think they will go down. I mean, I still believe that they will be down there because there's rumours about that Lewis Travis coming to Hull. I wouldn't mind that at all if he does come.
Good player.
But it's a good point on the road, for sure. I mean, I know I put these 2 teams the wrong way round, but no, I've been impressed from I've seen from Blackburn at the minute. I mean, I know against Derby, obviously they had Sammy Smodics, and obviously here they didn't. But it doesn't look like it really made a difference in terms of the result. Like, they still played well, and I mean, I think this makes a statement now that they can be okay without Sammy. And I mean, whether this can stay on the whole season, potentially not. Let's maybe get a proper replacement for Smodics. But if they don't, they still could do okay because, like I say, yeah, Norwich don't look fantastic at the minute. But Carrow Road, again, it's not an easy place to go to at all. So I'd be very happy if I was Blackburn, showing they can do something about Smodics, and if they can keep up, then who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure how you've done this again, but a bit weird for me that is.
Yeah, no, but to be fair, maybe I was underestimating them a little bit because, I'm having a little look at their attack now. And they've still got, obviously, none of them are at the level of Schmodics, but they've still got really good players. Dolan as well, Rankin, Costello, still got good players there. And again, the thing I said, I think I said it on the last one, the thing with them for me is they're really good going forward, but it's just a bit defensively where I worry a little bit with Blackburn. So we'll see what happens as the season goes on, but might be one of them, especially if you're comparing it to other teams that we think will be down there in the sense of they could just outscore them and that could help them in the end. But we shall see when it comes to that. But then moving on to the last game, the game on Sunday, no one would have expected this. Sunderland winning 4-0 against Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, I had a bit of confidence that Sheffield Wednesday maybe get something out of this game, whether that be a draw or a win. I know they have a really good record, previously at the Stadium of Light as well, especially with their, again, Plymouth were shocking, but their emphatic win against Plymouth, Sunderland were on a good bit of a run themselves, obviously, got that win, the clean sheet as well in the opening day, but yeah, Lewis will be back in the second. But yeah, it was really, really, surprising. And again, like we've said, Harry Sunderland, they could be a team, off the radar really, that people are talking about to be up there. Obviously, I know, you've put them quite high up there, and obviously there's rumours of Leeds looking at Jack Clark. Obviously, he was quite vital in this game once again, but still think they've got other good players, as we know, especially going forward. And that player who got 2 goals, he's looking really good as well. I believe he's a new signing, and this manager could do wonders for them potentially and get them in that playoff conversation come the end of the season potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I've had them in my top 6. I did. Come the end of the season, I think I'm 6th. Jack Clark leaving might change that, though. Unfortunately, they have to keep hold of him. He's massively vital for them, big time. But yeah, a really good result. I was surprised. I think from the top of my memory, I think I put 3-1 Sheffield Wednesday, which I don't know. I just thought they might go there, cause a bit of an upset, slightly of an upset, but wasn't to be. Sunderland keeping their really good momentum up from their first game of the season, 2-0 win away at Cardiff, and the back to with a really good 4-0 win against Sheffield Wednesday. And, you know, their game against Burnley next could be an absolute cracker, to be fair. So, yeah, good win. And Sheffield Wednesday need to regroup. And I think that's a reality check for Sheffield Wednesday big time. And they're going to have to go back to the drawing board. And like we said last week, their own form is going to be vital this season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, very, very unexpected, Lewis, wasn't it? That convincing win for Sunderland.
Just a bit. I mean, looking at what Sheffield Wednesday did to Plymouth, the absolute torn apart, last week, and maybe just I can't even say that. I'm gonna say maybe it's just a showing of how bad Plymouth are, but I know they're home against us, but away from home, I mean, they're struggling last season, but yeah, that scoreline at that point, it's obviously not a good show, and obviously for that basis, for basically that being vice versa, like literally at Stadium Light, it's surprising because yes, Sunderland are a good young squad, but to do that one week and then do that the next week, what does that really show about the Sheffield Wednesday side? Like we thought, after last week maybe they could, be a surprise package, but to do that the week after, clearly not. So I'm a little bit surprised, but obviously going on to next week, I mean, obviously that, like you said, that could be a really good game. Burnley's just had a bit of some bad news just put out by Fabrizio Romano about Sam Burge from a Burnley point of view, but I'm sure they'll find a replacement for him. But no, really good by Sheffield United. Sunderland. Yes. But yeah, I mean, I know Stadium Light's not not an easy place to go to, but when did you really ever see someone scoring 4? Never really. I don't remember last time I saw him score 4. Yes, I do. Against Hull City, 4-4. I think that was the last time. But no, really, really good by Sunderland. Really, really, really poor by Sheffield Wednesday. But these things happen in the Championship. But for this early, maybe it's a good little, I won't say reality check, but at least you're going to get a bit of parcel where you don't have a season to go now, because potentially there could be really one of them teams that are good one week and absolutely useless the next week.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, sometimes you see with these teams, they get a bit too complacent after getting an emphatic win, and they, sort of underestimate their next opponent, and they don't want to underestimate their next opponent, and I'm sure they won't, because it is Burnley or on fire, as we know. But yeah, that's all the games. That's all the games reacted to for game week 2. I mean, a lot of interesting games. I mean, a lot that I expected to really go how they did, to be honest, in the sense of the outcomes and stuff like that. And close on a few others, but yeah, I mean, any final things anyone would like to say?
Well, I think home after his things, because obviously he might not be here on thingy.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
want to do them now, Harry? Or
All right.
Yeah, I do know.
Yeah, all right then. I'll throw the
Actually,
game.
before we go into that, you're on 11 points. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'll-
just didn't have your predictions. So I couldn't. Your predictions were
Yeah.
on this, so I didn't know correctly. But before we do get onto that, obviously there's a prediction league. Obviously, do this, and I mean Harry, I don't know what the hell you did last week, but you absolutely cooked, bagging 11 points. Tyler, you bagged.
Bloody hell.
That is quite good for me because I was only on 3 points last week.
Yeah, you bagged 8 points, and I bagged 4. Yay.
Jeez, Harry's cooking.
Harry, you need to slow down. You're cooking too early. You're cooking too early. But now, fair play. I mean, you got 2 on the nose, I think.
He would have got the Plymouth one.
You got Plymouth
Derby.
one, you got the Derby one,
Yeah, and the Plymouth one, Plymouth Hull.
and you got 1 point from Coventry, 1 point from Luton, 1 point from Bristol. 1 point. No, hang on. That's it, I think. Yeah. No, I won by 1 point from Burnley, which could have been 3 points. Thank God it weren't, because I think Tyler, we might be in the bin already if that was the case.
Oh, you never know, Lewis.
Somebody wants to cook too early.
Well, there you go. Well, we're about to get an exclusive early preview because Harry is going to do his game week 3 predictions. So, like I say, I'll throw the games at you like I did last time. So the first one, Friday night, that is Sheffield Wednesday versus Leeds.
It's a tough one, Matt, considering both teams both playing in a minute. 2-1 Leeds.
Let me know when you've put them in, Lewis. I'll move on to the next one. 2-1 Leeds. Cool. Here we go. Hull City Millwall, 12:30.
2-1 Millwall.
And by the way, guys, 3 12:30 games again, like the weekend just gone in the Championship. So, yeah. Next one is Bristol City versus Coventry. That could be an interesting game, you know.
Is that at Bristol, is it?
Yeah.
2-0 Bristol.
Interesting. And then the last 12:31, QPR versus Plymouth. Again, could be a potential relegation battle here.
Gosh, that is tough.
Where's that at?
It's at QPR. By the way, the team I always say first is the home one. Just bear that in mind.
Wow, that is actually really tough. 2-0 QPR.
Oh god, the next one. Them guys down the road versus Derby.
You'll be happy with this, Tyler.
Oh.
2-1 Derby.
Oh, okay. Nice. Hope so. Quite funny, to be fair. Next one is Blackburn versus Oxford.
Damn, 2 good teams in form. I think I'll go for 2-2.
What was that game?
That was Blackburn versus Oxford. Next one is Stoke versus West Brom.
So, well, it's not classed as a derby in a way. It is well close to each other. 3-1 West Brom. Josh Madger, double probably.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
Magic Madger.
Next one, Preston Luton. Like you sort of hinted at it earlier. A win for us. It's just a matter of what's the score going to be?
I think a solid 2-0 win for Luton.
Another clean sheet, that'd be nice. If that is the case, that could be James Shea's third clean sheet in a row, I think.
Limbs.
That would be good. Sunderland versus Burnley, like I say, that's probably on paper, that's the game of the weekend.
Damn, this is actually difficult. So I'm thinking a draw or Sunderland will sneak it, but I think 2-2.
Next one, here we go. Norwich versus Sheffield United.
Gustavo!
United.
Running down the wing, over. Make sure United sing over. After Premier League, we go. Right.
Nope.
No, lads.
Yes,
Anyway.
right, mate. Yeah, man. Pretty simple, this one, really, I think. 3-0 Sheffield United. Gustavo hat-trick, man. Come on. Debating whether that game as well in the Sheffield United away end.
There you go. And then the next one, Middlesbrough versus Portsmouth. Actually, quite interesting.
2-1 Portsmouth.
So that'd be huge. That. What does 2-1 Portsmouth. And the last one, which is on the Sunday, is the Welsh Derby, Swansea versus Cardiff. I didn't realise it was that early on in the season.
You see, this game could either be very shit or very good.
That's true.
1-0 Swansea.
They do tend to have the better record head-to-head, I believe. So it could be. So there you go, people. Harry's early predictions again. I mean, it didn't even matter last time, did it? Because he still was up there. There you go. There's a list of all of them. So, yeah, obviously looking at it, like I say, me and Lewis will get more into it on Thursday. But, yeah, there's a lot of games there you look at and you think, oh, it could be quite interesting. Hold up.
Yeah, he's disrespected your club there.
Yeah. What are you talking about, Lewis? Yeah, you better hope you don't get humbled again, yeah? When we play you. Oh, he just kicked himself out. I didn't even kick him out.
No one likes us. No one likes us. We okay. We are Millwall. Super Millwall. We are Millwall.
Well, yeah, let's get that in. Yeah, make sure you change it. She'll forget who it is. You know what I mean? So.
No, it is.
Yeah, well, we'll see if you know who it is. A bit later on in the season. We'll see if we are losers town, as you say. But yeah, there you go. There's Harry's predictions. Like I say, the standout game is obviously the Sunderland-Burnley game on paper. That is a very interesting game to see how it goes. And like Lewis said, they could be losing another player. Looks like they will be Burnley, but still doing really well. Obviously, they lost a player who scored against us as well. He went to Tottenham, didn't he? 30 million or so.
It's one of them as well, yeah, where it could be an absolute cracker or could just be a convincing.
Yeah, we'll hype it up. It ends up being 0-0 or something. Yeah.
Or 3-0 Burnley win, comfortable.
Yeah, or something like that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So there you go. There's Harry's predictions. Yeah, I think that's it. That's it, guys. Is there anything else you want to say, Harry, starting off with you?
Up Luton. Shit on the Canaries. Shit on the Canaries. And Gustavo Hamer time this weekend. Come on.
Yeah, I can see him scoring again, to be honest. Lewis, any final things you'd like to say, mate?
No. Community is an absolute idiot. All
right.
Let's be
if Darth Vader's in the chat, he'll like it.
Let's be honest.
No, it was stupid. But again, me personally, I'm not going to be too critical. As much as it's stupid, he thinks we're doing UFC, at the same time, the amount of times he saved us, he's allowed to have one bad game. And I'm confident in James Shea anyway. So it's not, if we still had, I don't know, flipping, what's his name?
Sluga.
No, not Sluga. No, I didn't mind Sluga. I know it's a bit shaky at times, but still, I thought he weren't bad when he adapted. Who was that one we had? Matt Macy. If we had him, I'll be worried. Do you know what I mean? Or even Tim Ford, how he was last year. But
I was going to say Matt Ingram, but
yeah, or him. Bloody hell. First game in, concede 7. There we go. But anyway.
One last thing as well, yeah, Lewis. Enjoy your Paul Port Bap and a 2-1 loss to Millwall. Enjoy your weekend, mate.
Yeah, you're definitely, you know what I'm on about. You wait till we get cool when I read out the tier list, and I'm sure you'll be first. Anyway. And I'm sure Tyler will be last for now, anyway.
Oh, I like that.
For now, I said. Not for definite, for now.
Oh.
We'll see how you act later.
Sounds like you on the table predictions at the moment, last. But anyway, moving on.
That one.
But yeah, no, big up to everyone that's tuned in to each channels. I've actually got a new subscriber in this stream, so I do appreciate that, guys. I'm literally, as we stand, right, I'm 11 away from 2,000. You guys, obviously, you two will know, but for some people in the chat, how long I've been trying to get there is crazy. So if we can get there ASAP, that would be brilliant. Obviously, what's that?
Leicester Spurs still 0-0.
Yeah, obviously that's on the way. But yeah, man, like I say, if you could subscribe, like I say, I'll put Lewis and Harry's channels in the description as well. So do check them out. Do obviously subscribe to both of them, and yeah, smash a like, all of that. And yeah, Lewis, anything you want to say on your side about anything?
Obviously, me and Tyler back likely your chance on the Thursday.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll give our predictions, and I think that's about it. On the front of transfer news, I know there's a few moments going wrong, but nothing set in steel as of yet. But we desperately need players. ASAP would be nice as well. Not in 2 weeks.
So do we, but it's looking a bit better for us. It looks like everyone's guessing that McGuinness will be announced tomorrow. Well, apparently, he's been set to have a medical, so I reckon it will be. If that's the case, obviously I'll talk about it when it's officially announced. And then, yeah, man, like I say, me and Lewis will be back on Thursday. And then obviously I'll have the Hat Show on Friday. And not too sure what I'm doing for the game yet. Might bring back the first vlog from home with my dad. But we will see, and we'll go from there. And then, yeah, see, there'll be a Hat Show reacting to it and stuff like that on my channel. But yeah, man, big up to everyone who's tuned in. And as we go forward, I think Harry, when he's on as well, he'd like to do it onto his channel as well. Yeah. So we'll do that. We'll get that sorted as well. So we can do it on all of ours. And then, yeah, man. But yeah, big up to everyone who's tuned in. Last load of comments.
We haven't put that last one on by Spencer, but
it's Lewis's prediction.
Man, you're pushing it, mate. You're pushing it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to put it on now, Spencer, and I'll have a little watch of that. I've actually gone for a crazy prediction. Obviously, I haven't done my predictions out loud, but I've gone with a really crazy game. So we'll see. Probably happen.
You can tell me and Harry in a minute.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is a bit crazy, guys. But yeah. Big up to everyone who's tuned in. Smash a like, subscribe, all of that. Follow me across all my socials. Follow Harry and Lewis if you're not already. Obviously, if you're on Lewis's channel, go over to mine and Harry's. And yeah, until next time, we will see you lot in a bit. So take care and peace. Up the town.
Kaminsky.
Out hole. Millwall. Putting them in a you know what. Peace.